Hi, gang. It is Friday, so TGIF. I'd say got some sad news this morning, so I don't have anything super clever or kind of funny or goofy to open the show with today. But I will say the Daily Dope is in the air. Hey, everybody. It is Friday, January 19th. I am Jeff McAleer, your host here at the Daily Dope, as well as the Grand Poobah of the GamingGang.com. And I do want to start off the show and remind everybody that there is chat because this is live, and you can join in on chat on either Twitch or on YouTube. It's not on the screen, but I do peek at the chat, so if you've got a question or comment, anything like that, feel free, pipe in, and of course I will point that out, or answer a question, whatever. So anyway, I opened the show, did get some sad news today. My Uncle Bob, who was 89 years old, passed away this morning. So yeah, it kind of stinks, but I guess he was really pushing. He always wanted to live to see 90. Came up just a few months short. But as far as I understand, he had been sick for a while, so he'd been in and out of hospitals. But he did pass away quietly, so I guess that's how we should all sort of hope we check out in the end, I suppose. Anyway, I kind of bounce around, maybe not doing a show, but then you know, it just happened this morning, and it's my uncle. I haven't seen my uncle in quite a few years, but always a really nice guy. And you know what? Doing the show, actually, I have fun. I mean, it's a good way to cheer myself up. So here I am, and it is Friday, and I hope everybody's got an exciting weekend planned. And we're going to do some gaming tonight. I believe Elliot Miller, my best friend, the guy from voiceofe.com, is going to head on over to my brother's house because I'm going to be doing some babysitting tonight. And we're hoping to get some gaming in. Well, I know we're going to get some gaming in. I believe we might even be busting out 1960, The Making of the President, because Elliot really wants to check that out. But there's some other stuff we're probably going to play. And I'll probably bust some stuff out for my niece and nephew, maybe some of their friends. So anyway, kind of a quiet news day today. There are a few news items. And I do want to also mention that I will be reviewing Ancestry in just a few moments once I do the news. And this is from Calliope Games, designed by Eric M. Lang. So stay tuned for that. And of course, if you are watching the saved stream over on YouTube or Twitch, you will see if you're like, hey, I want to see the Ancestry, I don't care about the news, I will later on today have the timestamps so you can jump ahead. So anyway, there is some news out there. And the first thing I thought was a little interesting was on Tuesday, I did a review for Ares Games Sword and Sorcery, and I liked it, but I didn't think it was great. Or I should really say more along the lines of, out of dungeon crawl games out there are games I enjoy more. But Ares Games is expanding the Sword and Sorcery lineup, as I hear Pinky complaining. What's wrong, Pinky? I don't know. What are you complaining about? She's just roaming around. She's just, I'm not doing anything. She's a fussy cat. Anyway, as I was saying, Ares Games is expanding the world of Sword and Sorcery, and they've got a variety of releases over the next few months, and I have the dope. That's right, because we are going to see I think there's 6 total, but the news is about 4 new releases that are coming in April. There is the expansion Arcane Portal, the 2 new hero packs, Morrigan and Ryald. It's R-Y-L-D. I'm guessing it's Ryald, as well as an accessory pack, Ghost Soul Form Heroes. The Sword and Sorcery Arcane Portal expansion is going to continue the epic campaign started by Sword and Sorcery Immortal Souls with perilous quests, introducing new, dreadful enemies. From the depths of the abyss, new infernal enemies are summoned to bring chaos and death to the Talon Coast. Create new legendary tales by fighting and banishing them to save the realm. And why is my news not popping up? There we go. My goodness. Got to admit, everybody, things have been pretty crazy this morning, so I knew I had everything set up. Anyway, drawn by whisperings of a cult trying to end the world, the heroes are challenged by a shadow of nameless fears. Continue the epic campaign you started in Sword and Sorcery Immortal Souls with the perilous quests of this expansion, which introduces new dreadful enemies especially designed to interact with each other to defeat any hero who dares to cross their path. Arcane Portal will include 15 new deadly enemies, 1 new dreadful master enemy, 11 new modular boards allowing the creation of endless quests, new items, traps, treasures, events, and enemy powers. A new challenging story-driven campaign against demonic hordes and their abysmal lord, the Hellspawn. The hero packs allow to add new powerful characters to your Sword and Sorcery campaign. The first 2 hero packs, Onamor and Victoria, are actually due to release next month, while the just announced Morrigan and Ryald will hit. I don't know, my gosh. Aries, you're being awfully forceful. They say must hit. Stores 2 months later. The Ghost Soul Form Heroes, which is a set, can be used to replace the figures of the 5 heroes included in Sword and Sorcery Immortal Souls when a hero dies during a quest, to immediately visualize which characters are in Ghost Soul form, and also to create an alternate version of each character if you like to paint your figures. I do have the release information, which I just shared, but there are no MSRPs yet attached to these products. In fact, I couldn't even find the MSRP for the hero packs that are coming out next month, which I thought was very strange. Anyway, I assume they can't be too costly because it's simply a figure and some additional cards. But I don't want people to think I disliked Sword and Sorcery in my review. I did. I liked it. I thought it was fun. I just believe that there are other, more entertaining, at least for me. Remember, reviews are always just opinions, folks. That's all they are. Anyway, I just found that there were other dungeon crawling games that I enjoyed much better and just seemed to flow much easier while we played. Anyway, there is some Eurogame news floating around out there today because Grail Games is ready to release Kashgar, Merchants of the Silk Road. And this was actually a Cosmos title, which I think originally came out in 2013. But this English language edition will place the players in positions of Silk, Silk merchants, thus the name of the game, and these merchants are aiming to win fortune by plying the lucrative silk trade between East and West. Here's the dope. Grail Games is proud to present Kashgar, Merchants of the Silk Road. In Kashgar, players trade different spices that are coming over the Silk Road from Asia to Europe. Each player has control over 3 caravans. Oh, so I guess they are spice merchants. They are not silk merchants. Okie doke. In the beginning, each caravan consists of 3 cards that are spread out vertically so that the top part of each card is visible. Each card stands for a caravan member with different abilities. On his or her turn, a player performs only one action, choosing one of the cards on top of the 3 caravans and executing one action shown on that card. Then the card is put at the back of its caravan. To use the same caravan member again, a player must first use all the other cards on top of that caravan row. The core mechanic of Kashgar could be called open deck building. The game plays quickly with little downtime. Simple, yet so much fun and lots of strategies to explore. Kashgar Merchants of the Silk Road is for 2 to 4 players, ages 12 and up. Will play in about 45 minutes, and this is scheduled for a Q2 release. And unfortunately, I don't have an MSRP on this either. Sorry. But I took a quick peek to see what people had thought of the Cosmos edition, and it sounds like it's pretty interesting. I kind of like the idea of utilizing a character's abilities at the top of your row, and then you only get to use it once, and then they go down to the bottom. So if you want to bring that back around, you got to use up the other abilities, the other caravan members, I guess we would say. So yeah, that sounds kind of neat. I will keep an eye out for that. Also, next news item, Looney Labs has a non-Flux title that is on the horizon. That's right, they do make games that are not Flux. And this is going to arrive on April 5th, and it's called Get the MacGuffin. It's a card game of deduction and player elimination. Here's the dope. As popularized by Alfred Hitchcock, the MacGuffin is the thing that everyone wants and is trying to get. Examples include the Holy Grail, the Maltese Falcon, and the briefcase in the movie Pulp Fiction. Okay, I have to step off of this press release for a second because my understanding was always that a MacGuffin is kind of a red herring, and Hitchcock used it all the time. Great example of a MacGuffin is in Psycho. Vivian Leigh in the beginning of the movie, she's absconded with all this cash from her boss. She's embezzled all this money and she's on the run. But that ends up having really nothing to do with the overall story. That's why it's called a MacGuffin. And I had to laugh because I went onto Wikipedia because I wanted to make sure I was right, because that's what I always thought a MacGuffin was, kind of a red herring, something to get the viewer involved. And then it turns out it's not important. It's not important to the story. And I had to laugh because the examples they used for the MacGuffin are exactly what's in this news and this press release. So it's sort of like, whoever put the press release together for Looney Labs pulled it right off of Wikipedia. Anyway, back to the game. Get the MacGuffin is a quick and humorous deduction game involving hand management and player elimination. The goal is to be the last player with cards. The player with the MacGuffin card will frequently win the game, but holding onto that card can prove quite difficult. Also, because there are 23 cards in the deck and players are always dealt an equal number of cards, there will always be some cards that are not in play. Figuring out which cards are missing is part of the strategy. Who has the MacGuffin? Will the assassin take out the crown? What did that garbage collector find in the trash? Trash? What will the thief steal and from whom? To the shrewd, all may become known, but sometimes all you can do is shrug. I'm shrugging. Get the MacGuffin is for 2 to 11 players, ages 8 and up. It's going to play in about 10 minutes and is going to carry an MSRP of $10. So keep an eye out for that in April at your friendly local gaming store. My final news piece, told you it's kind of a quick news day, is a miniatures game that looks pretty interesting from Fat Dragon Games. And if you're familiar with Fat Dragon, they're pretty much well known for their print, I don't want to say paper, it's kind of like print and create terrain. And they've got some pretty cool stuff. Well, they've got a miniatures system that they just released, and it includes all the files for 3D printing. Yes, that's right. So you can make your miniatures on your 3D printer, of which I do not own one. But if you do, take heed, especially if you dig miniatures games, because Tesla World War has come out from Fat Dragon Games, and I've got the dope. The era of 3D printable war games is here. World War Tesla is a 15mm scale alternate history war game by James M. Ward, author of TSR's Gamma World, Deities and Demigods, and Metamorphosis Alpha, and Thomas A. Tullis, where Nikolai Tesla's more radical ideas such as death rays and force fields have come to fruition, changing the face of a world at war. Giant walking tanks, soldiers with rocket packs, and flying machines armed with death rays rule the battlefield. World War Tesla is the forefront of print-at-home wargaming. Say goodbye to the days of spending massive amounts of money to even have a small army to play a war game. With World War Tesla, even the largest vehicle can be printed for less than $1. All 3D printer STL files for vehicles, troops, accessories, and even some terrain are provided. So there's no limit on how large your armies grow. The game includes the full color rulebook, unit cards, 6 armored vehicle models, 2 troop models, 3 tree models. Wait a second, there's more trees than troops? Okay. A Tesla Tower objective marker, a bunker entrance objective marker, dug-in markers, troop tray, firing art template, full model assembly instruction manual, as well as reference sheets. And as I mentioned, Tesla World War has just been released. It is in PDF at Wargame Vault, and you can get your hands on it for $19.99. I kind of dig the look of the minis, although the troops look a little kind of chunky, but then again, they are 15mm, and that's some pretty good detail for a 15mm figure, because trust me, I know I painted thousands of 15mm American Civil War minis over the years, and none of them looked like they had that sort of detail before. So that looks pretty cool. So you can go over to Wargame Vault, pick that up. Keep in mind, if you go to Wargame Vault, they are a member of Drive-Thru RPG or the Drive-Thru sites. So if you're heading over there, do me a favor and swing over to thegaminggang.com, click on one of our banners to Drive-Thru RPG, and pop over to Wargame Vault from there, because if you do make a purchase, we get that little portion of the sale, and all of that adds up and it helps. Speaking of Drive-Thru RPG, they still have their New Year, New Game sale going on, and it's only on for, I think, a couple more days, and it doesn't matter if you don't necessarily have to go to the Gaming Gang first before you go over there. They've got over 5,000 RPG products that are on sale, and of course, like the sale name says, new year, new game. If you're looking around to, dip your toes in the waters, assume some new RPGs, or get some new adventures for your favorite RPG or supplements, get over there and score some savings, because it's the minimum discount I've seen is 20%, but I have seen some bundles that are like 50 and 60% off the PDF regular price. So take advantage of that while you can, because a sale of this size with that kind of savings, they don't come around all the time on Drive-Thru RPG. 3 times a year, maybe. So anyway, so I have Ancestry from Calliope Games, and I have been, before I jump over to the other camera, I have to admit, I've been really impressed with the Calliope Games so far, as far as family games, family-friendly games. And it's Friday. I like to do kind of family fun Fridays. So I have to say, everything I've seen so far, it's 3 titles I've seen from Calliope. Really solid. Really, really solid. And price-wise, very friendly price-wise. So just wanted to point that out. I am actually very happy that Calliope had sent me some review copies of stuff. Because it's always cool to get review copies of stuff, but sometimes, you know, you get these companies and they try to send you stuff that nobody buys. You know, they're trying to get this stuff off the shelf, and you play it and you're kind of like, well, yeah, I kind of see why this isn't flying off the shelves. I know, I'm being a jerk. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm not being a jerk to Calliope because their stuff is really cool. So anyway, so let's head on over to the other camera here. So I am going to show you how to play Ancestry. It's super, super easy to play. So there you go. Bing. Doo-doo-doo-doo. There's Ancestry, the box. Dun, dun, dun. The game is designed by Eric M. Lang, who, if you are a board gamer of any stripe, I'm sure Eric needs really no introduction. So what Ancestry is, and let me wet the old whistle here. As I take a peek and I see Pinky's snoozing. Thank you, Pinky. All right. So Ancestry is a tile drafting game, and the whole point of the game is that you're supposed to be in these historical archives with your rivals, and I guess kind of a debate breaks out who has the most fascinating family tree. And you've got this game where it's whoever's got the best family tree wins. Whoever's got the finest genealogy is the winner. And it is for 2 to 6 players. I want to say it's ages, is it 10 and up? Or is it 8 and up? Let's take a look. What? Oh, there we go. It is 8 and up. That's what I thought. I thought it was 8 and up. Very, very easy to get into. So you'll have these tiles, and I'll show off what you're looking for on these tiles. So if you take a peek, this tile is going to show, for one, it's a color. Now, for those who happen to be colorblind, there's also an icon up here. So we can see this icon is of a lion. So that's representing that family. Or I guess that family, I don't want to say family line, because you can have all different colors throughout your own family tree. So the things you're going to look for on these tiles are, if you notice at the bottom, you'll see there's 2 leaves. One's a darker green, one is a lighter green. So for this tile here, you're looking at the family as well as those 2 leaves. Let's see, let's look through, let's find, there we go. Then, for an example here, now this is a yellow, and on this we still have a leaf, but there's only 1 leaf, but there's also half of a heart. And if we look below the character portrait, we'll see there's a gold coin. So these are the things that you're going to look for on the tile. You're going to look for gold coins, you're going to look for leaves, you're going to look for half hearts, as well as the color or icon of that line. And what you'll do is, to begin the game, each player is going to randomly select 6 tiles. And you can do a lot of different ways of just taking the tiles. I kind of just put them in some stacks. And of course, anybody can pull from any stack. So we would have 6. If you're sitting at a big table, you got 6 players, you may decide to take the box top and lay the tiles in the box top. And then that way you can kind of just pass it around the table so people don't have to jump up and, reach over to grab some tiles. So you've got that. So there's 6. Let's take another 6. Aha, I'm taking 2 from this stack. I think that's 6, right? Did I pull 1 too many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that would be, let's say, the second player. And then this will be the third player. And these are the scoring boards. Really nice stock too. Really nicely done. There's a nice finish on this. Really nice. Not cheap. Not cheap production. So I thought that was very cool. So I'm going to move these off to the side for a moment because they're not going to come into play until the end of each round. And you're going to play 3 rounds in the game. So we've got, here's player 1, here's player 2, here was player 3. So each player is going to take a look at the stack of tiles that they've got. Move these out of the way too. And we also have some scoring counters here as well as coins. And the coins are denominations of 1, 5, and 10. So each player is going to look at what do they have? What are the tiles that they've got in this stack? So we see here, this person has the 2 leaves up top, only 1 leaf down below, and a coin. Nope, there's 2 leaves here on the top, 2 on the bottom, and a coin. If we take a peek here, now this gentleman, he's worth some scratch there, folks. But he only has the 2 leaves up top. Once again, we've got the 4 leaf halves as well as a coin. Aha! Hey, somebody who's eligible for marriage. And we see we've got the 2 leaf bottoms and then the leaf top down in the right and then a coin. And this is duplicate. This is the same one. So let's say this is the first player. So the first player is going to decide, okay, so who do I want to take from this stack? Now, one thing to point out, the way the scoring will work, at the end of the round, you're going to score your generations, your dynasty. You're also going to score coins. So when you have, I don't want to necessarily say it's real important to have coins early, because you may want to kind of focus a little more on marriages because those are worth a lot of victory points at the end. But it's probably more important to be having characters with coins in the first round than it is in the third round, because you'll get these 2 coins every single round. So as an example, let's say first player decides they're going to take that. Everybody's selecting these tiles simultaneously. As I knock tiles over with my elbow onto the floor. Let's take a quick look here, see what we've got that might be interesting for the next player. Yeah, let's say the next player wants to go. They're aiming to try to get somebody married off. And then the third player, what do we got? They decide they're going for cash too. And you'll see that these tiles, the way they're laid out, they're balanced fairly well. So, for an example, you see these characters that are worth these 2 coins, they can't marry off, and they can't actually extend their family line. They can only... So effectively, they're the children of somebody. But even though it's a child, you can still lay it down without having parents out yet. So let's say that's how these players decide they're going to do this. And let's see, can we zoom in a little bit? No. Alrighty, let's do this. Let's try to bring this down. Yeah, as everything's bumping around. There we go. That's better. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so what I just want a little clearer for folks to be able to see how these families will kind of branch out. So once everyone has selected a tile, they would actually place it face down, like so. Everybody's picked a tile. they're now going to go around the table and they're just going to pass off their remaining stack of tiles to the player on their left. In the second turn, second round, whatever you want to consider it, you'll actually end up handing your stacks off to your right, and then in the third and final round, you're going to go back to handing them off to your left. Once everybody's put a tile out, everybody's going to reveal them. There we go, good deal, cool. And then you'll just take a look at, okay, what do I have in this stack? Just like card drafting games, same sort of mechanic, you're just drafting tiles instead. So let's say that this stack here would be the stack in my hand is for this player here. So what they're going to look now, they're hoping they could get a yellow. Well, it doesn't look like there's any yellow. So the next thing they may take a look at is, well, they understand that it's probably important to have some coins, right? Well, this one has a coin. Got a couple of leaf halves up here. Got that leaf half here. And a half a heart. Now, I will point out that gender does not matter in this game. So you could conceivably take this tile planning on having a marriage like so. Or you could decide you want to take the tile just, well, actually, yeah, that's sort of probably the best play would be that. Now, of course, remember, this tile is going to be flipped over face down. All right, so what we got over here? All right, so we're taking a look, and you're trying to look, hopefully, to try to get the same color as a tile that you've already got out. You don't have to have that, but it does help because it sets up generations, and part of the scoring is based on generations. Fortunately, we're not seeing that. So what we may look to do is we may look to place something like this. Figure, okay, well, can't really marry them off. Doesn't look like there's anybody with a half a heart here anyway, so you might as well keep going for the money. Of course, you wouldn't be laying it down, you would put it upside down, and then we've got the third player over here. And this looks pretty good. So once again, and of course these stacks, you're keeping these stacks face down after you selected which one you want. So okay, so they would get rotated around again. Then you're gonna reveal. You're gonna take a look. Okay. So here we're seeing this player has a marriage. This player is basically, he is going to be the son somehow, even though he won't be married. And then we've got this player here. You're going to see how these family trees will start branching and connecting. So real quickly, let's just go through. All right, what we got? What do we got? Well, we got a yellow. So that player would take this one. What we got here? What we got? Well, might have to go with yellow again. And then this player here. I guess we'll do that. So, did I have more than one? Yeah, I did. All right. Anyway, I forgot to. I was doing that, right? Okay. So anyway, so we put that down there. Once again, boom, boom. Everybody transfers them around. Everybody reveals. And then we would have to do this. Because if you take a look, here, I'll show. A little easier to do it this way. Take a look. The colored leaves have to match. They have to line up. So you could line it up this way. You could line it up that way. Completely up to you. But you got to keep in mind that you can't move these around once you've laid them down. I actually have these guys off a little bit. This one's fine, just like that. All right, so this would be the reveal. So the reveal is like this. Okay, so we're going to connect there. The reveal was here. We're going to connect here. And this was revealed here. And we're going to go like that. So once again, you're going to keep going until you've laid 5 tiles. So I will be a little cheaty here. No, this was wrong. We had him out there. That's right. I grabbed the wrong one. Okay, so we're taking a look here. This player, ooh, not a whole heck of a lot going on there. So I guess we'll go for gold. Oh, there's a yellow. Might want to go for that yellow. And then this player here is looking at everything's blue. So they might want to try to take the opportunity to be able to marry somebody off here. So, of course, these were originally laid down. And then here, bump, 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 bump. So you can see these are starting to take form. All right, now we've got one more round. Once again, everything gets moved around. See what the options are here. Now we got the blue. We've got this. Might decide to go that way with this. What do we got over here? Can't do that one because it would be like, oh wow, I could get a marriage, but there's no leaf down there. So might decide, wow. Not a whole heck of a lot can be done with this guy here. Well, except that. Go with that. Then over here we've got these. And, well, it's early on. Maybe let's go for some gold. So once you've got, each player has 5 tiles laid out. Move these up a little bit. There we go. So once each player has 5 tiles laid out, the rest of the tiles are discarded. They're actually removed from play. They're effectively people who are lost to history. Same thing is going to happen if you happen to draw a tile that you can't do anything with, because that's just how it goes. It's some people just don't make an impact on the world around them during their lifetime. It doesn't happen too often. You can usually squeeze somebody in someplace. So this would be the first round with the 3 players. Now what we're going to do here is each of the players would have their scoring board. So the first thing we look at is score the gold. So this player here has 1 gold, 2 gold, 3 gold, 5 gold. So they would earn 5 gold, and you can just put it right there on your scoring sheet. You can keep your coins right there. This player here has 1, 2, 4, 5. Everybody's got 5, huh? Everybody's making money. So this player would receive 5. And then the third player, they've got 5 too. Everybody's playing for the dough. All right. So the next thing you're going to take a look at during the first 3 rounds is now you're going to look at the dynasty. And it's really easy to figure out. It's not super complex. What you're looking at is you're looking at how many of each color connect that are separated. So these are like generations, right? So you're looking at the dynasty here, and then you're going to look at the color or the icon, of course. And the thing that I think is cool about this is especially when you've got more players than 3, you're really not competing with everybody around the table as far as this scoring goes. You're just looking at the player to your right and to your left. And what it basically boils down to is if you beat one of the players either to your left or right, so for an example, yellow, the second player here has the 3 tiles connected. No one else has 3. This player here doesn't have anything for yellow. So this player here would actually beat both the left and the right, and they would actually get these counters here for their scoring. So they would get 2 of these and place it on the yellow square, showing the first round. This player over here, they're looking at, okay, gray. Well, they've got more gray. Funny enough, they only have 1, but they have more gray than either player. So it's a 3-player game. So of course, this player is, he's got a player on their right and left and right? So they would get that, and they beat both. So that player would get 2 in the gray box. Simple enough. If you tie, then it counts as nothing. So if you beat one of the players, either to your right or left, and you're going to repeat this just for the 5 different colors or icons. And if you beat one of the players, you get 1 token. So you get 1 of these. This is in the first round. And then if you were to tie, you get nothing. So then you would do that. That's your first round. Then you're going to start the second round. And once again, everyone's going to draft 6 tiles and go through the process again. And then you're going to see, of course, I've got these all squeezed in here, but you're going to see these start to really kind of spread out. So by the end of the game, your family tree would be like all of these tiles of various colors and things like that, of course, but it's going to be all spread out. So you do need a little bit of room in front of each of the players because, of course, they've got their scoring board, and then they're going to have their family tree, and it can branch out all over the place. So after each of the 3 rounds, you're going to do your scoring same exact way. And you'll find that it's important to get money early, not so important to get it late, because for an example, these 2 gold coins for this character here, this character here, this character here, you're going to eventually have 6 coins just from this character because you're going to get those coins every round. Putting somebody out with 2 coins in the 3rd round, I mean, if the money's that close, then yeah, that might be worth it. But as the game progresses, and it doesn't take long to play the game, but in the 2nd and 3rd rounds, it's more important really for you to start looking at how to put the dynasties, the generations, trying to match up those colors, and the marriages. Because at the end of the 3rd round, you are going to count up all of your marriages, and I'll hold this up. And as you can see, these marriages can be worth a lot of victory points. They start off with, well, 1, okay, it's only worth 1, then 3 for 2. Then look, 8 marriages, which can be tricky to pull that off. That's worth 30 victory points. So you want to kind of keep an eye on the players, because some folks will be going, okay, I'm going all for money. Some folks are going, oh, I'm going for the marriages. Some folks are going for the generation. So it gives people a lot of it gives you 3 options to really be playing for. But don't discount the marriages. Try to get marriages. And then, of course, at the end, you're just going to tally victory points. Coins are worth 1. Each of these counters here. And of course, if you won in the 2nd round, you would be getting the 2. If you won in the 3rd round for that color, you would have 3. And of course, remember, if you have more than the 2 players on each side of you, you would get a 2nd counter. Everything's just a victory point. So if you won a particular color in the last round and you beat both your rivals on either side, that's 6 victory points. So easy peasy. It's really, really simple. Showing off the game, I mean, I could have taught somebody how to play the game in a much shorter period of time, but I kind of want to show it off. So, in essence, that is Ancestry. And might as well switch back over to this camera. In my opinion, let me grab a sip. My opinion, it's a lot of fun. But there are, I'm going to give it a score, that 1 to 10 kind of score. So I got to talk about what I like, what I might not have been so keen on. So let's start off with not necessarily issues I had with the game. And I got to be honest, the first thing that I would mention, it's not really a knock. It's just, I think aesthetically, it would have been cooler. So I'll give you an example. So with his yellow family here, right? And the artwork is from Larry Elmore. And if you've played fantasy games anytime during the last, I don't know, 30, 40 years, you know Larry Elmore's artwork. But so for the yellow family here, we've got the male and the female. Those are the only images. That's the only artwork that you find for the yellow. Same with the blue, same with the gray. I would have liked to have seen more diverse artwork. Now, when I say diverse, I'm not talking about ethnically diverse. It's very, very ethnically diverse. It's something I actually like about the game. And I like how it's actually kind of showing people from different periods of history too, that I thought that was neat. But it would just been, it would have just looked cooler, I guess I would say. Just more aesthetically, it would like jump out more, that when you finish the game and you're looking at this family tree, you've got all these different unique people all throughout it. A lot of times, especially if you've been really focused on the colors, matching colors and stuff, start looking at, well, really looks kind of the same. Everybody, what is a lot of inbreeding going on? Anyway, so yeah, that was a little bit disappointing. I'm not knocking the game for it. I'm not dinging it on a score by any chance because of it. And I understand, they had Larry Elmore do the artwork. It's get a lot of different arts. You're going to be shelling out more money. Of course, shelling out more cash to an artist or artists is going to increase the price of the game. So I can understand why Calliope Games went in this direction as far as the artwork. Just saying, it would have been it would just look cooler with different artwork. One thing I will ding it for, though, because it says it's for 2 to 6 players. 2-player game is pretty weak. But that's all. Nah, I don't want to say all. That's a vast majority of drafting games, though, card drafting games especially. They'll say it's for 2 players, 2 or more, 2 to 8. Usually when you see something that's like 2 to 6, like this is, like Ancestry is, usually your sweet spot is going to be around 4 to that 6. Now, sometimes some games it's like, oh, well, it's for 6 players, and 6 players kind of makes it unplayable because there's too many players and it takes too long and it drags. This does not have that problem at all. Full 6-player game, even the first time you play, you can crack it out in about 40 minutes. Once everybody knows how to play it, then 6-player game not going to take you more than a half hour, really. Unless you have somebody who just sits there like they enjoy staring at the tiles before they draft which one. I mean, it's not as if there's like umpteen options for each tile. So, but with, the 2-player game, it's just, it's meh. I guess that's what I'll say. It's just meh. Because I did try it 2 players, and I mean, it was fine. It was all right. It's just not great. But on the flip side of that, with 6 players, 4 players, 5 players, this is a lot of fun. This is a really great gateway game And especially if people aren't overly familiar with drafting games, and some card drafting games leave me pretty cold because they're just yeah, take this card. Okay, so I'll be very honest. Seven Wonders, I thought Seven Wonders was fun. I thought it was fun. Did I think it was phenomenal and blew me away like all these other people? No, I did not. I didn't think it was. I thought it was an entertaining game. I liked it, but it wouldn't have been a game that I was like, oh my gosh, I've got 5, 6 people over, gotta play Seven Wonders. It just didn't scratch the itch for me. I don't know. I know I'm in the minority. I'm also one of those guys who's like, pandemic's okay. I mean, just regular pandemic. I haven't tried the legacy pandemics, but yeah, to me, pandemic's kind of like, it's okay. I'm also one of these people who's like, Settlers of Catan, yeah, it's okay. So sorry, but this actually Ancestry is lots of fun. I really, really enjoyed it. Like I said, it's great. It's a great gateway game, period. Not just to drafting mechanics for a game. It moves along really nicely. There's really very, very little downtime. Unless, like I said, you got somebody who's staring at the tiles going, which one of these 3 am I going to pick? Yeah, okay. But it's not total analysis paralysis. Zips along pretty well. It's got some cool little mechanics to it. I like how you can't just connect different tiles, different characters to each other. You got to make sure that everything's got to match up. Sort of like it's like a tile laying game. If something doesn't fit specifically into that open spot, can't use it. So yeah, I had a lot of fun. Everybody had a good time with this. All the gang had a really good time. So really, the only thing I'm dinging it for is 2-player. It's just like I said, So amazingly enough, I guess I'm sure there's some people out there who are going to be like, "Oh man, that's a pretty high score for a light game like that." I look at when I do my scoring, my review scoring. The main things I look at are: does the game accomplish what it appears that it's set out to do? Did we enjoy playing it? And is it aesthetically pleasing? Are the components nice? The components are great. I mean, especially for the price, it's a $30 game. So this isn't going to like break the bank. I will double check though, real quick before I sign off today to make sure it is $30. But I swear $30 is sticking in my head for Ancestry. And that is a very, very nice price, especially if you can find a little bit of a discount someplace on this game. I find that there are a lot of times lighter games that play a bunch of people, and for some, 6 people may not be a bunch. For me, 6 people sitting around the table playing a game is a bunch. Really, really enjoy it. I mean, there's a lot of 6-player games out there that are kind of like, ugh. No, really, really had a really good time with this. I give this an 8.8 out of 10. Only thing I'm giving a little ding for, it would have probably gone a little over 9. And people were like, wait a second, Jeff, I mean, you're talking like Call of Cthulhu, who's a 9 point something. Folklore of the Affliction is like a 9.5. Big, massive, epic games, you don't even give an 8.8. It's just, I'm looking at what is the game designed to do. I give it an 8.8. I think it's that good. I think you can chalk up another win for Eric M. Lang and Calliope Games. And I will actually go jump on the Calliope Games website real quickly because I don't want to say it's a certain price and it turns out to be, oh, I'm sorry, it's $50. Yep, $30. Just like I thought, it is $30. And kudos to the team at Calliope. This is my favorite Calliope title so far. So I liked Shutterbug. I thought Shutterbug was cool. To me, this has actually a little more kind of strategy to it than Shutterbug. So yeah, dug it a lot. All right, so that is the show for today. And of course, when you are not watching the Daily Dope, be sure to go over and visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. Come on by now, you know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. I am Jeff McAleer. I think I will be back on Monday. Don't know, as I opened the show, I mentioned that my uncle had passed away. I'm sure there's services that I have to attend. Don't know when that's going to be. So I can guarantee one day next week there will not be a show. Just don't know when. So it might be Monday I'm back. If not, it'll be on Tuesday. But regardless, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Have a great time. Be safe. And I will see you next week. And thank you so much for watching. As I sit there going, damn, I'm on the website. I can't change over to the other scene. See you, gang.